Good morning and welcome back to Apple Tree Allotment. Come down here Saturday morning, it's just after 8, so the sun is just coming up and the birds are all singing, which is really nice. So we had the big storm Eunice yesterday come through. We're in Cambridgeshire in the UK, so it sort of hit the east coast later in the day. And I think we had up to about 80 miles an hour winds. So I was a little bit concerned to come down here this morning and check on everything to make sure everything's okay. We seem to have escaped it almost completely on our plots, which is absolutely amazing. I think because we're up in the corner and there's a few trees behind us, we must have got lucky. There's just a few twigs laying around. There's quite a few little bits of branches laying around. I guess have got pulled off the trees. There's a bigger branch I can see over the back there. But amazingly, our umbrellas still in place. All our roof and all our water butt and everything. Even our plastic table, which I feared would be halfway across the field when I came down, but even that stayed in place, which is absolutely amazing. I've just met some other plot holders down here. They've got a plastic shed that they've just had to pull back from another plot, so it must have gone floating across quite a bit. And I know up here there is a roof of one of the water butts laying on its side, so that's got ripped off of that IBC tank. Luckily it doesn't look damaged at all, just looks a little bit squiffy. So yeah, we had to pull that back on okay. Needs securing a bit. Ours was quite over-engineered, so luckily it was pretty safe. I've got a lot of cable ties all around the base of it and the back of it, so I think my over-engineering skills went lucked in there. So yeah, it's a nice day. It's nice bright skies. It's supposed to rain this afternoon again and be a bit windier again, I think. So I got down here early, get some jobs done. Big job for today is get this tree moved. It needs to get moved before the buds start coming again. So I'm going to get the spade and fork out and make a start on that this morning. I did bring down all my tools as well. If that magically goes quickly and I've got time, I will start sorting out some of that wood, ready to make new beds to go where this tree is. There's going to be two beds there that will be sort of 2 meters by 1 meter, so I can start sorting out the wood for those. But yeah, we'll see how much effort it takes and how much time and energy I've got left after that. And then I'll have a little look round. Stage 1 done. We've got the tree uprooted. This soil's actually not bad in this bed. It's probably the loosest of the beds I've looked at so far. So I managed to get the tree up fairly easily. There's just a couple of roots that snapped when I was pulling it out, but other than that it's managed to stay intact. The roots there's some quite big roots there, but they're not particularly haven't spread outwards. They've sort of spread down more than out. So yeah, it's come out pretty easily. I think this was planted as quite a large tree, so that's probably why there's not a massive root system. It's only been in, I think it's been in about 3 years or something. So yeah, so I'll take you over, take the fork and tree over to the orchard, and I'll show you where it's going to go. So this is the orchard area where our tree is going to go. So this is a shared area on the allotments that a few different plot holders have got trees in, various fruit trees, and there's a few bits of seating areas. Pre-COVID times we did have sort of little weekend meetups and shared cake and tea and sat around chatting to other plot holders, but that kind of went by the side in the lockdowns. So hopefully that will come back one day, but for now there's a nice area to sit in for different people when they're up here. And there's quite a few trees in here. A few have been here a few years, and I've noticed there's a couple of new ones that have been in the last few weeks, so it's nice to see it expanding. There's a sort of various different trees in here. I think there's some apple trees in here and some plum trees. Last year they did have a big teepee of sweet peas in here as well. You can see all the sticks, I think it's willow canes. They did have over here somewhere, had a big teepee made of those with all sweet peas going up, which was quite nice. So yeah, so this is the area where our tree's going in. So it's just over the back here where this mound is. So it's quite a nice open sunny spot. It's a good spot for the tree. There's already a bit of ground prepared where something else was, so that's good. I can start digging in there. So I've got the tree, there was a pole on it. I'm not sure if it needs it still, but it's got a nice rubber support to go onto it, so I might put it in anyway, especially as we've got so much wind around at the moment, and just keep it nice and loose, and I'll keep an eye on it. This will still be our tree, even though it's over in the orchard area, so we can still harvest from it and look after it, but it does give us that space back where we can have another couple of big beds, so that's really good. So I guess I'll start digging, get a hole, and get the tree in, and I'll water it in. It rained a little bit yesterday, but not too much. I think there's some rain this afternoon, so it doesn't need too much water. But yeah, just give it a little bit just to settle it in. Yeah, so time to get digging. I've got the hole dug out for our tree. This soil, although it is quite loose, it was quite easy to dig. It is quite wet over this side. I think that's why it's probably not been used as plots. There is a little stream dug out along the side there, and there's a few little ones around. Yeah, so it's quite wet. So I've got these bags of topsoil that were left on our plot when we took it over. So I just brought one of those over, and I'll use that to backfill, just to try and give it some nicer, sort of less waterlogged soil to get going with. Yeah, so I've got the hole. I'll get the tree in. I'll try and get it so the roots are level with the soil again as it was, and I'll get that pole put back in to support it while it gets established. Yeah, so get that in. I've got the tree in the hole, and I've secured the support in. I haven't backfilled it yet, but I've just got this support in. There's a little bit of space still in here, it's still nice and loose for it to grow. Obviously I'll keep an eye on that, make sure it doesn't dig into the tree, but I think that'll give it a little bit of support for a little bit. So yep, so I'm going to put this topsoil in, and I think that should fill up that hole, and I'll just spread out that soil around, and I think we should be there. So there's our lovely fruit tree moved and in the ground. I've trod it all down, keep it nice and firm while it gets going. At the moment it's a bit muddy and wet there, but when it dries out a little bit, I'll come down and I'll put some bark chips on next time I go. Maybe plant some bulbs or something around it. Yeah, so I'll get I'll get something covering that up once it's settled in a little bit. I'm happy that it's got a slight curve in it, this tree, but it is pretty much straight, I think. And we won't let it get too tall anyway. The sort of allotment rules say they shouldn't be over a certain height anyway. So I'll keep it trimmed. Yeah, pleased with that. I just had a little tidy back up of where the tree was. Filled in the hole, and it's pretty much filled in. So it's nice, fairly flat, ready for new beds. So that's quite exciting to get a new space opened up, ready to go. So I've got down here on my wood pile, I've got all this decking wood. So I've got these nice long planks. I've got I think I've got at least 4 of those long ones, and some of these shorter ones that will do for the ends. So I shall measure those up, and maybe in the week or next weekend I'll get them cut to length, and we can start building that bed. I think the weather's meant to be quite bad this week, so we'll see if I can go and get some soil for those. But yeah, we'll have to see what we can get done with the weather. So I'm just going to do today, I'm just going to go through this strawberry bed and see if I can salvage any plants. There's a few nice little strawberry plants in here I can see, so I'm just going to try and dig them out. That's going to be my next bed once I've got the ones over here built. This is going to be the next one to get worked on, so I want to get anything out of it I can, and then I'll cover it up and start getting that prepped for turning into nice new beds. Some of the wood on here is okay, I think. I might be able to reuse some of it, but I want to turn it into the 2 beds like all the rest, so that I've got space to walk down the middle. That's kind of the way I like doing them, and it seems to work quite well. So yeah, the plot is starting to look tidier, nicer now, more useful. Glad I've got that tree moved. We've still got use of it, still ours, but it means it opens up that nice big space for growing something else. So yeah, I'm going to have a little dig around in this bed, see if I can get any strawberries out, and they'll go in the furthest bed you can see over there, the lower one. And I've got quite a few at home as well. I was going to bring some over, but yeah, I'll have a little dig about and I'll see if I can find any. I had a dig around and I've dug out there's 6 here. It's quite nice little plants. They're quite old by the look of it. They're quite thick root systems on them, but they might be good for this year. We'll see how they get on. I'll put those in, and there's plenty of space in this bed for more, so I'll bring some from home as well and see how they do. It'd be nice to have some different types down here, so they fruit at different times maybe. Yeah, always nice to have more fresh strawberries in the summer. I've just laid them out in half the bed, so 2 rows of 3. That'll leave me the other half to put some more in. I think that's enough space for them, so I'll just get them settled in. So there we go, they're all in, nice 6 strawberry plants. Hopefully we'll get some fruit off of those this year. I'm really pleased with these beds, the way they look and gone in. Be nice to get these get all filled up, and start getting the squash in these later in the year, maybe some courgette or something. Yeah, my garlic are doing well. I've lost a few to rabbits and things, but there's quite a few still there. And the onions still seem to be doing okay. At the back here, yeah, so all in all we were very lucky with the wind and the storm. Everything seems to have survived on our plot, at least. There's a few walking around, there's a few more roofs off of water butts gone flying. But yeah, we seem to have been very lucky, so that's good. Everything seems to be doing okay. Nice bulbs coming up, springing up in our flower beds. Hopefully we'll get some nice flowers soon. And yeah, looking forward to starting to sow some seeds now. I'm going to sow some more broad beans this weekend in pots at home and get those started, and I'll bring them down when they're sort of 4 or 5 inches high, I guess. The ones I planted in autumn, they haven't really done very well. I think they've been nibbled is the problem. I can see sort of the shoots of a few of them, and they might grow up, but yeah, I think we probably lost out to the rabbits on that one. So in future years I'll grow them at home and then bring them down and try and protect them. Our chard's looking good, starting to grow back a bit after it's been nibbled. Yeah, so all in all, some good jobs done today, some progress. Looking forward to getting those new beds started, the next set. Just got to get some more soil for the raised beds and get the boxes built. But yeah, I hope you're all safe and well. Didn't get too much damage from these storms. I'm keeping well, and look forward to seeing you next week.